Hey everybody, it's Ray here, and today I've got one of my very, very special guests who I've had on here a number of times, and today she's going to be talking about something a little bit different than she normally does, and I think you guys are really going to like it, especially if you're looking to work with local businesses in your area. You're really going to get a kick out of this. So let's bring in once again the one, the only, the gangsta granny. There's a story behind that right there. Jeanne Calenda. Jeanne, welcome out to the show. And today we're going to be talking about your home services bonanza. And it's a little bit different than the stuff we've had you on for recently. Do you want to tell everybody a little bit about why this one's a little bit different than what we usually talk about?
Yeah. Well, as most of you know, I have my own agency I've had since 2012. And I have a lot of different kinds of clients for local businesses. I've got doctors and lawyers and chiropractors and veterinarians and so on. But over the years, I discovered that the people I like to work with the most are home service professionals. And you may already know the answer to this because you're a smart guy, Ray.
Uh-oh.
But yeah, but the reason I love to work with these people is that they just seem to be salt of the earth kind of people.
Yes.
They're not hard to find. They respond to you. You can get them on the phone. Um, I can be driving down the road on a trip, even out of town when we're in the RV traveling. And if I see a truck going past me, like for a plumbing service, I just take a picture with my camera on my phone, and then I call them. I say, "Hey, I just passed your truck."
I do the
Oh,
same thing.
really? Yeah. I mean, it's amazing what you can do if you just keep your eyes open. So we had a whole rash of roofing going on out here in my neighborhood in Myrtle Beach, and I just went down the street walking the dogs and stop and talk to the guys who were doing the jobs, and I got that company as a client. So I just find that home services are easy to sell to.
Yep.
And it's a $657 billion industry, home services as as a group.
I believe that. That's crazy, but I
657
believe it.
billion. And it's growing. And one of the reasons that it's growing is because, well, the millennials, for one thing, they're finally getting to the place where they can buy a house. But since the housing market is not so easy to get into, people are taking better care of their homes. And something interesting happened um, after COVID, and that was people started to work from home more. So they're renovating their houses to set up space to work at home, something that I never considered before because I've always worked at home. But I learned that people um, didn't always work from home, and now they're wanting to. So they're renovating their houses, and that jacked up the market. So, so that's number one. I love home services businesses. And then, if any of your people remember me, you know that I've always kind of zeroed in on social posting. I've got a
Yes.
You've used a lot of my graphics that we make. I've got graphics for
I have a hard drive, by the way, just to throw this out there.
pull
I
up.
have a hard
Yep.
drive that says social media, and all it is industries with all of your posts. And there's some other things in there
Okay.
from other places that I've gathered them, but all the ones I've
Yeah.
gotten bought of yours or gotten from you from different things, it's all in there. So
I
we
think you
got a
just
we got a car washer, boom, here's car wash stuff. Oh, we
yeah
got a
yeah.
roofer,
I
here's
just
the
gave you
roofer
the car.
stuff.
I just got you the car washing images. What,
Yes, you
a
did.
couple days ago? Yep. So,
That's gonna fit in perfect.
but I really wanted something more to offer them, but I did not want to get into SEO and paid ads, and because I mean I'm getting older, Ray. I don't have the brain power to do all that. That to me that stuff is hard. So I made up what I consider the perfect little offer, and it's all what I call microservices.
Right.
And um, of course, social posting is one of those, But I also learned this is what moves the needle for people and gets business. It's social posting. It's have you ever heard of directory home services directory marketing?
Oh yeah, I do a lot of directory stuff.
Okay. Well, I'm giving them a lot of information, and also I'm giving them a website, a WordPress theme, and a friend of yours and mine made this. It's not quite ready, but we'll be delivering it soon as part of the course. And I started doing home service directories in 2012 with my friend Sue White, and we had Myrtle Beach Home Services, and we sold spots on that for 495 bucks. And then at that time, it was easy to get like rank and rent sites, verified in Google and what have you. It's not
Right.
so easy anymore. But we did that for about 20 different niches. So you take 500 by 20, what's that?
Yeah, that's
Uh,
quite a bit of money. Ten thousand dollars
is
right
that,
there.
yeah, there you go. So we were bringing in $10,000 a month on the directory thing. But so I am going to talk about that in the course. Um, but so I've covered social posting. I've covered blogging. Blogging really moves the needle, and I'm including a whole bunch of blog posts for all kinds of
Nice.
different
That
niches in
that's
here.
that's interesting to me. That's the part that I'm going to have to get in there and learn because I'll be honest with you, I've been in this industry for too long, and I know nothing about blogging really. I mean, yeah, I've done it a little bit, but more for the SEO type thing than to actually do the blogging, and I probably never did it correctly. So
Well,
that's a really interesting
there
topic.
there's AI to help you now,
Yes.
and if you make sure you don't just take straight out of the AI software, and you got to make it your own a little bit. But yeah, and so I'm doing work for a roofer
Yeah.
over in another city in South Carolina. Well, there's a much bigger roofer right down the street from him. But when I did the do you know the software Local Dominator?
Uh, I know the name. I've probably
It's
messed
where
around with it.
you do a scan within you could tell it go within a 10-mile radius or whatever, or 3 miles, and it'll tell you exactly where they're number one and number two, and on up to
Oh,
like,
gotcha. Yeah, it's very similar. I
yeah.
use a different software, but basically the same thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, when I did that scan uh, the, the other day for him, because we had added blogging like in the last 3 months, he's ranking number one over top of that great big roofer that spends all the money.
Nice. That's
Yeah.
always cool.
So, and the
And
only
we,
thing I can say is we added the blogging.
yeah, and we've done that. Like our escape room here, we've got a multi bazillion dollar escape room facility that's 20 minutes down the road here in a bigger city, and when it rains out, people come to our place and they're like, "Oh, we found you online. We were because
Hmm.
where I am, Stone Mountain, Georgia is right down the road, and people go to Stone Mountain and they look for things to do, and they come up to us, and there's a multi-million dollar escape room right there, 2 minutes away from them, but we dominate over them, and people show up all
Yep.
the way up here, so you can do it,
Yep.
and we're not even in that same town, and we dominate over them. So
Yep. Well, the blogging really, I mean, it's kind of old school
you know
because when we
what?
think of blogging, we're thinking, 10 years ago, but it still works.
I That's one of the things that I did do. Like I said, I'm not a blogger. I don't know heck of a lot about blogging, but a friend of mine said, "Here's what you do, blog in this way." And what I started doing was writing blogs about all the different attractions in the cities around me
Oh, yeah.
and
Yeah.
putting a map to my location from that thing and like all sorts of stuff. And it just blew us up in all these different areas like
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. You figured this out. So I'm going to check out this page here, make sure I don't forget anything. Um, okay. I've told you about social posting. I've told you about blogging. I told you about the home services directory.
Yep.
I always make sure they have a Google business profile that
Yeah.
is claimed and optimized.
I
And I
I'm a
I
video guy.
post.
I'm the video
Yeah.
guy, but I tell people all the time, the number one thing you can do is get that Google profile set up properly, up and running, because it's going to drive traffic to you right
Oh
away.
yeah. And then we do posting in the way of
Right.
articles and blogs and our social graphics to the business
Yeah,
profiles.
I do the same thing. Yep, every
Yeah.
day.
Okay.
Eh,
And then
Practically every single day.
the other little thing that I find that it's just such a blessing to people, and that's to put a review tool on their website, and even to give them those little cards where
Yep.
they can say at the end of a job, "Here, tap this to your phone," or "Go to this link and give me a review."
And
And
for those of you out there, if you've got a business or if you work with somebody that has a business, get them to do this. We not to bring up the escape room 800 times today, but we got 45-star reviews in 2 days,
wow,
and it was because we pushed and pushed and pushed, and then everybody gets lazy, and then we only get one every couple weeks, and I'm like, hey, push it again, and we jumped from we wanted to hit 400 5-star reviews. We went from 300 to 400 in like 3 weeks or 2 weeks or something crazy
wow,
like
and
that.
that's a lot of reviews, Ray.
Because we pushed, we pushed, we pushed, we pushed. And, when somebody comes to our place, when they leave, we hand them a card that has a scan code on it. There's a scan code on the door as they're walking out. We ask them to leave a review. We even got one of those tap things where, it's a little card sitting on the table and
Yep,
they just tap their phone next to it and it does it.
yep,
And
yep.
they immediately they get an email and a text message afterwards saying, how was your experience? Leave us a review. I'm telling you, you do these things, you're gonna get reviews. And then, of
Oh
course,
yeah,
reach out to your past customers and ask them. That's another thing that
that's
people
right.
forget to do a lot of times.
That's right.
As long as you're keeping a
And
list.
you know what? I'm going to have to add this to my sales page because I I didn't put it on here, unless I just didn't want to overwhelm people with too big of a list. But I use a chat widget
Yes.
on their
Yep.
on their on their website. Yeah.
Is it a review chat widget or
No, this is just
just in
hey,
general?
how can I help you? And
Gotcha.
they send a text, and I own a telecom company, so
I
this
know.
chat widget is
It's crazy.
it's like two-way texting, and I've even got it where I can text enable their landlines, and
Hmm.
so you could put up a billboard that says call or text
Right, right.
to this number. And if they text, then it goes to a portal on the business computer in the office, or it can come to somebody's cell phone. I mean, I love the chat widgets. And then the last thing that I was telling you about earlier is what I call direct mail impact service.
Yep.
And that is old fashioned postcards, flyers, door hangers, and I'm going to give folks some templates for all of that, and also for business cards. We do, I've got a great group of graphic designers, and we use Canva for everything now. We used to use Photoshop, but now we use Canva, and so I'm including a lot of those kind of assets. I'm including in this course, of course, social media assets
Right.
for many of those niches that are in home services. Also, postcards and flyers and Facebook ads if you want to run them. Um, let's see, what else am I doing? And the blog posts. We've got a whole ton of blog posting in here. So I've really packed this together, but my main emphasis, Ray, is it matters what kind of offer you make to people.
Right.
Like, I don't think you can just go after one thing anymore. You need to combine these microservices into a heck of an offer.
I
And
agree. And let me ask you this.
mhm,
When you do this, what would you recommend? Like, let's say I walk into a plumber and I say, hey, we do these microservices. We can do your blogging. We'll make sure that your Google profile is set up. We'll set up your posting and whatever. Uh, what is the target price for a small business these days that you would want to try to hit with that?
I start out with some real basics for like $297 a month.
Okay. Now, let me
And
tell you
then
why I asked that question.
okay. But let me
Because,
finish that answer. At
oh, no, go
497
right ahead. Sorry.
and then 697, depending on what they want. Yeah.
Now, by the way, I love that answer, and I'm going to tell you why. I live in a small town. You live in a slightly bigger town. But
What?
my biggest problem is I want to work with my local plumbers. I want to work with my local electricians.
Yeah.
I want to work with my local restaurants.
Myrtle
When I
Beach
used
is
to walk
bigger
in,
than where you live? You're
oh,
kidding.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're pretty small here.
Ah, okay.
Pretty small
I think
town.
about you in terms. I think about you in terms of Atlanta. I guess that's
No,
not right.
that's like an hour away.
Oh, okay. All right.
But the problem that I would always run into is I would go into these plumbers and restaurants and be like, yeah, we can do your social media marketing and we'll get your Google profile set up and we'll do some videos for you and we'll do this. Well, what's it going to cost? Well, it's probably going to cost about $1,500 a month, and we're going to have to take $2,000 down to do this and that. And their eyes just glaze over and they're like, well, that sounds great, but see ya.
Bye-bye.
And
Yeah.
what I love about this, and you know, we're not trying to sell other people's software here, but you and I are both using a certain software that does some of this stuff for people. And
Yep.
the absolute beauty of what you're talking about here, and with that as part of this, is you can now charge $300. You can charge $600, and guess what?
Yeah, and
They'll
it's
pay
costing
that.
you almost nothing to fulfill it.
And they'll pay that. That's something they can afford to pay. Because I
Yes,
had
they
to charge, if I was just going to do their social media, I had to charge them $700 a month because I was manually doing this, you know? And that's what they would get for $700. So what ends up happening is either they walk out the door because they can't afford it, or, and sadly this is probably the case half the time, I end up giving them the world for that $700 and work myself to the bone, and it just doesn't make sense.
No, you got these have to be not only services that benefit a business, but they have to be automated, easy to fulfill. I mean, once you put that review tool out there, boom, it's set up and rolling. Once you get that text widget in place, that chat widget, it just rolls. It just rocks on. Once I set up a social media campaign in my app, I don't touch it for 6 months.
Right.
So these are easy things to do. So it has to be, and it's affordable. This isn't costing me much. You know, the subscription to that software that you and I are referring to, it's not
By
much.
the way, most of the crowd knows exactly what we're talking about because we've done sessions on it before. So,
Okay, that's not that much, and it's, you know, at a certain level, it's pretty much unlimited with what you can do. You can bring on 100 clients. They don't care.
Yeah.
So you
That's
go out
what's
and get your
great about
100.
it. And by the way, you know, it's not just me. I've got a friend down in Florida. He's my web guy. He does, you know, he was working with local businesses and running into the same thing. And now he's using all that stuff. And now he's working with all those local businesses that they couldn't afford to use them before. And it just, you can provide so much value now at a price where you still get paid really good money. Most of it gets automated, and they get better stuff than they probably would have before anyway. So
That's right.
It all works well, and that's what I love about this.
The bottom line to this is the home service market is booming for all kinds of reasons. They're the best people in the world to work with, and if you get an offer that is inexpensive for you to fulfill, and yet it gives great benefit, they're going to sign up right and left.
Yep. And I can tell you, you know, these small businesses, they appreciate it. You know, I've got one client who, you know, it's a church. I don't charge them a whole lot of money. I basically do their social media stuff, and they rave about it all the time. And I just kind of look at it and I'm like, it's not really, you know, no, this is great. We're getting people talking about us, and they're coming in, and okay, if you say so. You know, I'm not really doing much for you, but I'm glad it's working. So.
This is a little bit off topic, but speaking of churches, my phone company has a software, like a texting sort of platform, not just for chat widget texting, but where you can actually schedule out text message to go out to certain groups. and that is so beneficial. I mean, a
Oh yeah.
pastor could, send a text out, say, here, click on this link and listen to the, scripture of the day or
We
whatever.
we use it in
Or
my business all the time. All the
yeah,
time.
you could have a grief share group. You could have a youth group, the music group. Everybody's got their own little divisions of that, and and the people responsible just go in and schedule those texts out for 30 days, and there you go. So that had
Nice.
nothing to do with Home Service Bonanza, but
Well, I mean, it's the same type of thing. It's still a small microservice, that's out there,
yeah, it
and
is. It is.
that's a big part of it. All of these things, they add up and they work well and they work together. If you get the blogging
Yes.
out there, you're doing the social media posting, you got the chat bot, all getting the reviews, all of these things together, being in
Hmm.
directories, it's all working together. And I've told this story before. You know, you talk about directories and we talked about Google business profiles. Those directories and things like that, they will help the Google business profile. You
They
know,
do. Yeah,
YouTube videos that will help a Google business profile. There's so many
they
things you
do.
can do to help businesses that
Hmm.
don't take a lot of work. I watched a client that I have. He wasn't hiring us to work on his Google business profile stuff, but we were doing videos for him all the time. And I was putting his name, address, and phone number in there. I was linking back to his Google business profile. And I watched as he went from like 35th place all the way to number 2
Oh,
in a matter
wow.
of like 3 months. And the
Hmm.
only thing different was we were putting out videos. We were getting that name, address, and phone number out there, the citations, which I know some SEOs say, the citations from things like that and from directories isn't what it used to be. Maybe it's not, but it still works. And I've watched it work.
I
So
wouldn't want to
it's
leave it out of the mix if I had the
no,
time.
no, and they're certainly not saying that, thankfully, but
Yeah.
it's definitely a big deal.
Oh, one other thing. I'm going to show people in this course how to find leads for free.
Yes, that's a
And
big one.
they're hiding in plain sight. You
You
just
might
need a
say they
little,
are right next door.
you could. That's one place they are is next door. Um, yeah. So, yeah, there's a whole section devoted to finding free leads. Now, you and I use kind of an expensive lead finder software.
We do,
Uh,
we do.
we do, and I love it. But I'm not expecting everybody to go out and invest in that. And so
Right.
I tried to, not tell you how to spend a lot of money here. That's not my goal in this. My goal is to give you a whole ton of ways to go out and build your business.
Yep.
Because I have a heart for people who are trying to build, a local agency business.
Yeah, you got to,
And
when you're getting started with this, you got to keep those prices low, and you got to use a little bit of
you
shoe
do.
leather, and that's what
Yep.
you're going to be able to do with this. We used to call it
Yep.
red dot marketing back in the day,
Uh-huh.
and that just meant
Well,
you looked at the Google Maps for the red dots.
I looked at the prices of everything I've included here, the prices that I sell my things for. Like if you came to me and bought a pack of social graphics, or you came and you signed up for that software that gives you the review tool and all that, and I put values on it. Now the front end of this is only $28, Ray.
Ooh, actually, that's even lower than I thought it was. I thought it was a little higher than that, so that's
Well, I
good.
lowered it this time. I lowered it this time
Nice.
because people they're hurting a little bit. So now it's going to go up, twice a day. The little tiny bit. I put it in our platform that we all use. I put it on a not a dime sale but a time sale. So it will
Nice.
go up. People who get in early are going to get the very lowest price, but there is over $3,500 of assets for $28.
I believe it. I believe it. And
Yeah.
my favorite part of these is always the social media posts. I love that stuff.
Yep.
I love the graphics and the actual posts that you guys give in this. And this time you are giving what is it? How many packs? I don't want to say the wrong number here, but there's quite a few packs
Um,
of them in there. I think I
well,
know the number, but I don't want to say it wrong.
the,
So
the front end is, let me look at the front end here. You always got to split it up into,
Because you guys
funnels.
typically, if somebody bought one of those packages, what do you charge? $99 or $199 for those normally?
197, and if they're my customer already, I'll give them $100 off and do
Okay,
97.
yeah, that's what it is. Because I thought I'd bought them for like
Okay,
97. So
so the front end pack has plumbing, my 2.0 version, electrician, bathroom remodeling, handyman, flooring. Um, I think those are the ones included, and all those are great niches.
I mean, that's
And then later
$1,000
on, we're
right
going to
there.
get it. Oh yeah, we're going to get into pest control and roofing and lawn care and dumpster rental. Can you believe that?
I
That is
saw
the
that. I was like, oh, you know what? I got to go buy that upsell on this one because all those other ones, I don't have
dumpster
any of those in that
dumpster
package. So.
rentals are huge now.
Oh, I believe it. I
I
believe
know
it.
I know a guy up in Illinois, and he's killing it with dumpster rental businesses.
Wouldn't
Uh,
work in my town. Would you believe this? The local government has set a deal with one dumpster rental waste company. You can only rent dumpsters from that company in this town. How
sounds
anti-competitive
like
is that?
sounds
Should be
like the
illegal.
government.
Should be
Sounds like the
illegal.
government. A lot of things should be illegal, but um,
'Cause I
so
know
there's
somebody who
water.
rented one, just called and rented a dumpster, and they got a call from the government. They're like, "You're breaking the law.
Oh my
You can't have
gosh.
that."
Oh, we can't get off on that. Okay.
I know,
Um,
but
moving and storage, painters, solar, swimming pool, tree services, hardscapes. That's kind of a new word these days.
yep.
Garage door installation. I know a guy who's a $1 million a year marketer out in Texas, and he just services garage door companies.
Well, that's a good one to get into because
Yep.
that's a tough one. Google has cracked down on garage door companies big time because of all the fraud. So that's a tough one.
Well, he's
Those
doing
guys
it,
need help.
and he got his little $1 million badge down there in Miami at the meeting you and I know about.
Nice.
Um, pest control. Let's see. I think I'm repeating myself, but oh, here's another one that I couldn't believe: junk removal businesses,
Yes, that's a big one too.
fencing, carpet cleaning, air duct cleaning. I signed up a guy right here in Myrtle Beach for air duct cleaning.
Another one
Not
where
too-
those guys need a lot of help because there's so much fraud in that industry going on.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. What it is there's guys in other countries who they go onto Facebook and they hammer any Facebook group they can get into across the entire country with air duct cleaning things all day long, and what they do is they just collect phone calls and then they just call a local person and hire the person and take the money and pay the person to come down, but you have no idea who you're hiring, you have no idea who's coming to your house, and they just fill up everybody's groups with these spam things constantly that we have to remove all the time because I've got a bunch of groups and I'm always removing that stuff. So
Ah,
those guys need a
goodness.
lot of help. So that's good.
So, bottom line here, this is a heck of an offer.
Yes, it is. And
I don't
like you
think you
said,
could get.
normally you charge more on one of these offers, and typically your offer is one set of social media graphics with some blog posts and emails and things like
That's
that.
right. And in here on the front end, I've got one, two, three, four, five. I think there's six.
I thought there was six. Was Roofer one of them?
No, not
No.
not
Okay.
on the front end. That's on the. Hey, and Ray, I'm doing one more thing that really people loved it earlier this year. I did a bundle. So it's like if you look at the front end page there, they can get started for $28. Or you could just know there's going to be golden goodies out the yin yang in the upsells. And I'm giving them the opportunity to buy the whole shooting match for a huge discount right on the front
Ooh.
side.
I
Yeah.
may have to go do that.
Yeah. I did that with G Site Revolution when I taught people how to make G sites.
Yeah.
Yep. And I looked at my stats later. There were more people who bought the whole bundle than bought the front end product.
I'm telling you, the bundle is well worth it because I was looking at all
It
the
is.
stuff in the upsells, And I'm sitting there going, well, I've got this one, I got this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, but it's got this. Oh, I want this anyway. So, you know, it is well worth it at the prices that you have it.
And I had that bundle price $20 higher than what it is. And one of our little friends that you know talked me into lowering it.
I might have a guess on who that was, but I won't say anything.
Yeah. You know, and his point was people their wallets are hurting a little bit right now. Make it as easy as you can, and I'm still making a little bit, you know. So I did.
Well, and that's the thing, you know. I mean, if you ease it up, let these agency people get in there for a good price, they're going to come back for more stuff. I know, because I come back for new stuff all the time.
That's right.
I got to talk to you. I've got a client I'm meeting with next week. I'm pretty sure you don't have a pack for this one yet, but maybe at some point you will. He sells.
I got 190.
He sells mobile homes. Mobile homes.
No, I don't have any for mobile homes.
I didn't think you would, but just want to put that bug in your ear.
But hey, I've got spray foam installation. How about that?
That's a good one. I like that.
I never heard of that.
So again, just to wrap this thing up, because I know people are probably going, "Hey guys, wrap it up here." We got, let's see, you got 6 bundles in there. How many are in each bundle? Is it 180?
Yep.
So it's not even a 60 bundle. It's the 180 bundle.
It's all 180 of them. Yes.
My goodness. All right. So that's 180 times all of that. Plus you get all the blog post stuff, all the training, the chat bot. There's a website in there too, isn't there?
Yes. A beautiful WordPress. Now, it's not quite ready for delivery tomorrow, but it will be in a matter of days.
Nice. And then the directory stuff. So there's a lot of stuff in there for, what'd you say, $28. That's about $9 cheaper than I thought it was. So that's even better. I love it.
Yeah.
All right. Well, and as you guys know, I'm not going to leave you with just that, because I've put in a whole bunch of bonuses that go along with that too. And if you're watching this video, just look down below. You'll see all of those. I always put a lot of bonuses in there.
I'll trade you some stuff for your bonuses, Ray.
Oh, all right. Well, we can certainly do that.
Okay.
Let's talk afterwards, because I got a lot of bonuses that aren't in this that might interest you, that could help you out. So
okay, we can
definitely talk about that. So guys, again, if you're watching this, you're probably not going to see this until Thursday morning. So Thursday morning, this opens at 11, right?
Yep.
11 o'clock. Sometimes people do 10, so I wanted to make sure, but I was pretty sure it was 11. So it opens up at 11 o'clock. Yeah, jump in there, grab this. I spent more today I've got a friend over here that I take out to dinner every once in a while, and this is way cheaper than that dinner was. So get out there, pick this up, and you can
hardly go to McDonald's for 2 people for this.
Yeah, I know, it's ridiculous. So think about that, guys. $28. You got one client spending $200 a month for $28. Why wouldn't you do that?
No reason.
You gotta be crazy if you didn't do it, right? Got to be crazy if you didn't do it. $28 to $200 for one client. Now multiply that times 10 clients.
Think
about what you're getting out of that.
Right. That's where it adds up. Yep.
Absolutely. So be sure to jump on this. If you have any questions at all, of course, please feel free to ask. You can post them down below on here. You can reach me on Facebook, and most of you even have my phone number. You can call me on the phone if you want and ask me questions, and I'll be glad to answer them for you. So with that, Jeanne, thank you once again for coming on here and talking about all this great stuff that you have. Home Service Bonanza tomorrow, or by the time you're seeing this today, Thursday, 11 o'clock. Pick it up, grab the bonuses, get to work, and start making some money with it. All right, Jeanne, thank you again.